The woman accused of abducting a baby from a Florida hospital 18 years ago is now awaiting trial.
Gloria Williams appeared in court on Wednesday, charged with kidnapping and interfering with custody.
But the girl she raised is defending the only mother she's known, even as she faces possible life in prison. July 1998, Kamiyah Mobley was just a few hours old when a woman dressed as a nurse walked out of this Florida hospital with her and vanished without a trace. It left her mother devastated. For 18 years, the kidnapped girl, renamed Alexis, lived in a small South Carolina town where she called this woman Mom. But now, the woman who raised her, Gloria Williams, is behind bars.
Attorney Sara Azari and psychotherapist Dr. Jen Mann joins us now with more on this. Thank you for both being with us. Sara, first to you. In Florida, like many other states, under the law, the victim's opinion is usually considered by the prosecution. So what happens in a case like this, where you have the daughter, Alexis, saying, "Don't be too hard on my mum, she's the only mum I've ever known," and you have the biological parents, we don't know this, but they could, understandably, push for the maximum penalty that they could get. How do prosecutors balance that out?
Well, I think it's important to identify who the real victim is in this case. The real victims are the biological parents, not this girl. I mean, this girl is now the victim of these circumstances because she's torn between a mother who really she considers to be her mother, even though she's not her biological mother and she's her abductor, versus the family that's just so overwhelmingly, joyous and excited that, she doesn't feel the same as they do. But they're the real victims. They are the ones that have been deprived of parenthood, of years of graduations and birthday parties and all sorts of things. And I think that they will have a say in this, and she could face up to 30 years in prison if she's convicted of this.
So if this goes to a jury trial, they may do a plea deal, but they may go to a jury. Could this end in jury nullification? Because, she raised her, she was in a loving environment, no harm was essentially done to her in those 18 years. She said it was amazing, best years of her life kind of thing. She loved every minute being with her kidnapper, essentially. So jury nullification, yes, she's guilty, but we're just saying that she won't be convicted.
No, kidnapping in most states, including Florida, is a first-degree felony. It's a very serious crime, and the fact that she was given a good life and she wasn't abused and she was taken care of, and probably much better than if she was with her biological parents, is not really a defense. It doesn't absolve the liability, the crime, the guilt. And I think that, well, in Florida, the defenses that can be put up for this is the consent of the parents, lack of intent, and insanity. And I think as a criminal defense lawyer, I would really look into the lack of intent. I find it very suspect that this woman, I don't know what the relationship is with the biological parents. I think there's more about them that we need to know. It doesn't add up to me that somebody would just pinpoint this particular hospital room, go in and pick up this child 8 hours after it's born, and nobody catches her as she walks out. So I think that, defense attorneys for Gloria need to really focus on who these people are, who are her biological parents. Is there a relationship? What were the circumstances? Were there precipient witnesses in the hallways of this hospital? Were there cameras? Unfortunately, when a case gets old, like 18 years now, memories fade, witnesses die, people are gone, you can't locate them, and evidence is gone. This hospital was sued, and there was a settlement by the biological parents in the year 2000, so I would think that they probably have destroyed the video footage that may have existed at the time. So unfortunately, there's going to be some challenges to the evidentiary part of this as well.
If there is no doubt that this is the woman who was the abductor and didn't just end up with the child from someone else, is there any way that a judge is going to let in some of the evidence from the daughter, from the biological family? Obviously, they're the victims, right?
Of course.
So will the daughter's testimony be let in, or will they after the jury?
The daughter, meaning the 18-year-old. Yes,
yeah.
But what can this daughter testify to when she was 8 hours old, right? I don't know if she was perceiving anything, let alone to be recalling it, right? But definitely the biological parents. The mother, I'm assuming, is going to take the stand and say, yes, this was the woman who came into my room, this was the woman who took the child. But again, we need other, witnesses who are not related to the case who can come in and say what they saw, because she may not be the abductor. She may not be.
Sara and Dr. Chen, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Our
pleasure.
Appreciate it.